DVB recently had a fairly impressive earnings report in the context of banking, ship lending. What has DVB been doing to navigate the downturn?
Well, first of all, DVB is not only ship lending. We also have quite a big aviation portfolio and land transport portfolio. So it's the aggregate of everything. And we also have sold some investments during this period. So our earnings are up. On the other hand, negative is that we had to take more provisions. But all in all, it is so far this year another good year. But DVB is stable as normal, and we do our normal business, and everything looks good for us. So we are happy with that. And you probably also heard that Standard & Poor's just reconfirmed our rating at A+, and it's stable. So it looks good.
In your recent earnings report, you mentioned that certain ship finance subsectors were underperforming, and you also mentioned 1.4% of the lending volume was no longer in line with the company's strategy. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes, we have looked at, we have 7 different sectors in our shipping department, and we have come to the conclusion that some of those sectors are getting too small for us to have too much manpower dedicated to it on a global basis. So we are slightly moving into new sectors and going out of some others. But that's a normal adjustment we do.
And what sectors are those?
Yeah, the things we go into at the moment is more offshore, because we are also going to make our own offshore division within the bank separately. We want to expand in that area, and we are also expanding a lot in LPG, for instance, while we see that the cruise market, for instance, is limited potential for us.
In past interviews with Tradewinds, you've talked about, in jest, the approach to some loans, cut me a check or give me the keys. Are you still keen on this approach?
Well, we are still keen on being paid back. And it depends a bit on the owner and the outlook for the market or for the ship in question. But of course, if the owner has given up, he is not willing to support it, he is not willing to do anything with it, I said, rather give us the key instead of having a fight and both lose money extra. So we take a very practical approach. If they give up and even try to fight us, then we can fight also.
Do you know how many sets of keys you've had to take over the past year or so?
It's a good question. In general, we have had the level of what we call control tonnage from the portfolio. We have about 1,500 ships financed. And it's always been a constant the last 2 years that we have 20 ships in our control. And some has gone out and some come in. So it was down to 17, 16, and now it's up to 20 again. So it's about that size. And that is just over 1% of the total portfolio. And that is, in a way, acceptable, although we don't like it. We are not supposed to be ship owners in the long run.
Can you talk a little bit about how private equity and private equity interest in shipping has impacted your business?
It has created a new market for us in a way. As I just mentioned in the conference, we have now leveraged 40 PE firms into shipping with over 2 billion in senior debt. And we can see that that means that they, let's say they finance 50%, that means that they have put 4 billion into shipping just on the projects we are involved in. And that list you saw this morning, where Marine Money has made a list of who has been in that, those investments. The list is actually double the size you saw today. So it's a very active market.
What are your thoughts on consolidation in the market? Do you expect to see more consolidation in the near term?
Yes, we see that in niche sectors there is consolidation, and you heard it today that in LPG there is a nice consolidation happening. But in most of the big sectors, you see nothing of it. Really not, unfortunately.
Earlier this year, when Knight was running into some issues, we had talked about how a marketing relationship that you had with the firm had run its course. Is that a relationship you're going to consider resuming now, or are you considering similar types of partnerships in the future?
No, at the moment, we have decided that we have such a good global contact with so many customers that in each case we consider which company we will invite to work with us on the capital market side. So that will be not an exclusive relationship, but we will work from case to case.